Good evening, wrestling fans. The Hound here, the voice behind the MPW rumor mill, stepping in temporarily for Martial Art McNeil and the Ripper, who are in the ring awaiting the announcement of the new MPW commissioner. You fans voted online at www.monsterprowrestling.com, and tonight we find out who becomes the new law here in MPW.
And they tell me the new commissioner is right along, not one of the three-man dream. The new Monster Pro Wrestling commissioner from Philadelphia and Olympic Point.
Welcome fans, and thank you for joining us here on Monster Pro Wrestling Madness, the most talked about new wrestling program in Canada. I'm Martial Art McNeil, the voice of Monster Pro Wrestling. Beside me as always, call him Mr. Brightside, the Versace Biker Ripper. And folks, as you saw at the top of the hour, we have a new commissioner here in Monster Pro Wrestling. I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed as to not getting the job myself, but what the hey, at least I don't have to wear a suit anymore.
Well, don't worry, he ain't gonna last as commissioner, I'll tell you that right now. And beware, folks, this show may contain scenes of violence. Did your parents have any kids that lived?
And folks, you picked a great night to tune in. The young lion, Bobby Sharp, claws his way into the main event of Madness for the very first time as he continues his crusade to make his mark in the heavyweight division of Monster Pro Wrestling. He'll be taking on a former #1 contender for the MPW title and card-carrying member of the American Patriots, the Outlaw, Adam Knight. What do you think about that, Ripper?
No comment.
That's a first. It was just last week that we saw the Sicilian Assassin ally himself with the Twisted Junior Heavyweight Champion Knight. The Sicilian Assassin made his presence felt in that triple threat match for Knight's championship, possibly costing Stevie Saint the title. Tonight, in another triple threat match, the Sicilian Assassin and Stevie Saint will go face to face, but this time the third man in, the X Factor, will be none other than Danny Duggan. Let's go to ringside. And we are about to kick things off, welcoming the new commissioner, Yukon Jack, here at ringside, as we're just about to get underway with the trot. And wait, El Nino from behind, going after Stevie Saint. And a lot of history between El Nino and Stevie Saint, former tag team partners, now turned bitter enemies. El Nino to the buckle, Stevie Saint up and over, and a nice arm drag takeover by Stevie Saint, and it looks like Danny Duggan's just going to wait it out. Wait.
El Nino not even giving him a chance to get off his jersey, attacking him from behind. We call that one the Millwoods welcome wagon, where I'm from.
Millwoods, well, you're from...
I'll show you guys how to do this.
Wait a minute. You got to excuse me, I'm getting a call. I'm a busy man.
It never stops with you, Ripper. It's business all the time.
Business. And I think Stevie Saint is the more popular of these three superstars. Unfortunately, Monster Pro Wrestling is not a popularity contest. It's not an attractive contest. As you can tell by any of those if it was. Oh, I hate it when you beat me to my punchlines. Danny Duggan working on Stevie Saint, and it looks like El Nino and Danny Duggan have formed an alliance of sorts. One of them resting, while the other one wrestles Stevie Saint. And El Nino doesn't look too happy with this makeshift partner so far. Folks, a triple threat match. First pinfall wins the match, and there are no friends here.
Oh, this is going to turn into a scrap real quick.
Well, I don't know. Danny Duggan and El Nino talking things over.
No shame in waiting it out, picking your spots. I'm not above that, and I don't see why any of these guys.
Well, neither is Danny Duggan, and neither is El Nino. As they both attack Stevie Saint from behind. Please, children. Not when the match is on. Double clothesline attempt. Miss it, Stevie Saint. And listen to this. 500 people strong. Stevie Saint with the clothesline. Stevie Saint with the double drop kick. We've seen that combination before. The one, and Stevie Saint gets a deuce.
Well, these guys are going to duke it out. I want to see this.
Stevie Saint throwing right hands, fighting a 2-on-1 battle, and so far he's doing it pretty well. Stevie splash in the corner. Maybe for one more, and yes! El Nino gets a taste.
He just about knocked the eye makeup off of El Nino.
I think that's better off for all of us. And oh! Look at that! Stevie Saint out of the way, and both knees into the mush of El Nino. Drop shot by Stevie Saint. Stevie Saint, one of the quickest people in Monster Pro Wrestling, as he goes for the cover there on Danny Duggan.
Nino makes a save.
Nino's picking his spots. He's fighting the smart fight. He's going to let these other two guys duke it out, and he's going to pick his spots. He'll break up the 2 counts. He'll attack when the other guys are down, and he may come out on top of it because of it.
He's a little wiser. He's got a little bit of a martial arts background, this guy. And
we're seeing that martial arts background right here. Beautiful combination of kicks by El Nino, and you're right, definitely very cunning, very crafty, and very quick to bend the rules, as we saw last month at Last Rites, as we saw him interfering in the triple threat title match.
Oh, snapmare and a boot to the head.
And wait a minute,
looks as though Duggan's been busted open. There's a
It looks like El Nino and Danny Duggan are
I'll show
playing.
you how it's done, he says.
And then Nino tries to capitalize.
That's right.
Brilliant.
Danny Duggan and El Nino using Stevie Saint as an object lesson and boots to the back.
They're taking this kid to school.
But again, this is an alliance of convenience, and these don't tend to last very long. And beautiful standing dropkick by Danny Duggan.
Textbook.
Is he bleeding from the mouth? He looks like he's busted open from this vantage point. I can't tell.
Could be. Well, we might be seeing a lot of blood tonight. As we said, that barbed wire, I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you the truth, I'm a little nervous about that match.
I'm a little nervous with this spool of barbed wire sitting next to me. Can we put this in the back for now or something?
I don't think anyone wants to touch it. As we see another cover, and again, El Nino makes the save. Uh-oh. Temper starting to flare between Duggan and El Nino.
That friendship didn't
And
last
Duggan
long.
takes a tumble. El Nino now, sending Saint off the ropes. Nice back elbow.
Oh, that's going to leave a mark. He knocked the taste right out of his mouth.
But he's stopping the jaw with the crowd. He should be going for the cover.
In that position, you got to get on top, hook the
Garlic
leg, and
press
bring
by
it.
El Nino, not enough. And another. And Danny Duggan back in the ring. And things starting to come unravel for the alliance of Danny Duggan and El Nino, if there ever really was an alliance there. Either way, things not looking good for Stevie Saint. Caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, if you will.
The devil in the deep blue, what?
I read books now and then.
Ripper, can you read?
I don't understand nothing this guy says. He's a fountain of misinformation. He hasn't been right about one thing since he started this job.
Hey, I know Ripper can read because he has a very well-thumbed copy of Green Eggs and Ham in his man purse.
Hey, not only that, I know the man subscribes to Playboy and it's for the articles, right, Ripper?
Stevie Saint coming right off the top.
Subscribe to Penthouse.
What a match this is so far. If you folks would stop talking and start watching, you would see that there is a clinic going on in triple threat action.
I know there's
And
a
not the
medic in the
kind you're
building.
used to, Ripper.
Oh my God.
Cut around by Stevie Saint. And folks, I can't say enough about this crowd. Nearly 500 strong. We're in a new building.
Danny Duggan wants a timeout.
420. I counted 420 plus.
Leave that one alone. And Danny Duggan's begging off in the corner. And Stevie Saint, there's no timeouts in wrestling, just like there's no crying in baseball.
Did you just quote A League of Their Own?
My sister saw it.
Goodness.
El Nino, hey, look at that move. El Nino back in the ring.
I heard she was your
Hey,
property.
hey, hey, match, come on. Come on, am I the only professional here? Professional?
You can't even say professional.
I'm the voice of Monster Pro Wrestling.
That's not the hardest thing to ever come out of your mouth.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. El Nino off one rope, off the other, Sicilian headbutt.
And don't take your eyes off Duggan in the corner, sucking it up, gathering a little wind.
And still bleeding from the mouth, I think.
El Nino comes within a whisper of winning this one. Duggan trying to collect himself in the corner. Stevie Saint in dangerous territory. And it looks like El Nino is going to the high rent district, if you will. And Duggan beats him there.
This doesn't look good for Nino.
Right there, right to that cement. There's no padding at Monster Pro Wrestling.
And El Nino went for grandmother's house, but Duggan cuts him off. But wait a minute, Stevie Saint.
Step it in!
Serve
Is it
doom.
gonna be?
Oh no!
Goodness! Are you kidding me?
That did not end well for anybody.
Has anybody got the strength to make a pinfall? This could be over right here.
I don't know if anyone has strength to draw a breath.
We might be looking
Referee
at a
checking
10
on
count.
all men.
Is anybody conscious? Like you?
Well, Stevie Saint's from this vantage is back on his hands and knees. I see El Nino crawling into the corner. Stevie Saint with the cover, and Nino just in time to break it up.
It looks as though everyone is conscious, Ripper, but if martial art keeps talking, the viewers at home won't be for much longer.
Yeah, you got that right. He's got a tendency to put them all to sleep. I know I got to take a nap after hanging out.
Oh wait, look at this! Look at that move by Stevie Saint!
Stevie Saint almost looked him.
No,
Better
man!
at fighting two
And
guys.
your heart has to go out to Stevie Saint, fighting a 2-on-1 battle here and doing an admirable job. Stevie Saint, one of the most underestimated competitors in Monster Pro Wrestling. So quick, so agile. And look at that! Look at that! There it is! That's Stevie Saint's finisher, and he told me what it was this morning, and I forgot.
You can't even remember where you parked your bus.
You don't even know. Do you even watch the show?
Yes, I do. Oh, we've seen this Fisherman Buster! And that's how Danny Duggan beat Sexy Samantha last month. But Danny Duggan's decided, hey, that's not good enough for him, and I have to think this might be a mistake. With 3 men in the ring, you don't want to be wasting time.
District.
Didn't I say that already? Oh! Lord have mercy.
Shades of
And look at this! El Nino trying to pick the pocket of Danny Duggan, and he does!
Yukon called that one. He's seen that strategy coming a mile away. Maybe he will be able to do this job.
The Sicilian Assassin with a victory, and boy, it's been a long time since I've been able to say those words here in Monster Pro Wrestling. So wait a minute, Danny Duggan giving the referee a shove.
He's not
El Nino
happy.
was the odds-on favorite here tonight to take this match.
El Nino fought the smartest fight. He came in, he picked his spots, he gathered his breath when he needed it, and he snuck in for the quick 3 count. And that's what it takes.
Slow, I have to agree with it here.
Righteous on the floor, filthy life, filthy love. Give me this shit with help from above. Where are you, Chi-Chi Cruz? Somebody to take Cheech to the hospital! Where are you, Chi-Chi Cruz? Can you feel it? Hey, Cheech, you're at the hospital. Hey, how you doing?
Good news, folks. Chi-Chi Cruz is back in action and will be competing tonight after taking a week off following that attack by Steve Rivers and the American Patriots 14 days ago. But good news for Cheech might be bad news for the leader of the American Patriots, Chi-Chi Cruz, All-American Steve Rivers, coming up next.
That's my outfit.
Wait a minute! Chi-Chi Cruz coming through the rooms! And Steve Rivers running for the hills! Cruz with a score to settle with Steve Rivers, and he doesn't want to waste any time.
And Cruz, match that I have personally been waiting for a long time.
Me too. I don't think we've seen Cruz and Rivers one-on-one since that title match where Chi-Chi Cruz lost the Monster Pro Wrestling heavyweight title to Steve Rivers. And we know how that came about through the treachery of the American Patriots.
What a matchup. Rubber chicken reminds me of the checks that you've been writing around here, Yukon.
My checks don't bounce.
Do people still write checks? Steve Rivers saying, what?
Chi-Chi Cruz, he can't get Rivers in the ring by himself. He's hoping these 500 people in attendance will help him.
Chi-Chi, a 21-year veteran of the sport, and he isn't that old. He's been wrestling since he's been, what, 14, 16?
Chi-Chi Cruz in the neutral corner. Steve Rivers hiding between the ropes.
Steve Rivers hasn't even taken his robe off. Oh, there we go.
Maybe he should put that back on.
If I was less of a professional, I would say the same thing. Cruz having some fun, getting the fans fired up, and maybe he's having a good time, but he hasn't forgotten what happened to him. He hasn't forgotten those stitches he got Not a fan of retribution, but in this case, I'll make an exception. A little gunslinger justice hopefully is in store, courtesy of Chi Cruz. And look at Chi Cruz just pacing like a panther. He just can't wait to get this match started. Rivers, on the other hand, maybe a little bit more patient.
Oh, and look at Rivers.
And Rivers.
Look at Rivers. Slimy tactics by Rivers, and I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm a big fan of it, too.
I respect it. Ripper, I know a guy like you can get behind something like that.
You wouldn't believe the things Ripper has gotten behind.
Hey, I thought you were leaving your mom out of this.
Who does he think he is?
He's not going to make any friends doing that here.
Rivers, a master at picking his spots.
He's already picking apart the brain of Chi Cruz.
And right now, he's furious, but right now he better be careful, or he's about to be cornered by Chi Cruz.
He wants to make Chi overconfident, then he'll pick him apart.
Cruz is dancing a jig, trying to get in the kitchen of the All-American Steve Rivers. He can make him breakfast. He's so deep in his kitchen.
The expression on Steve Rivers' face says it all. He really does not want this match tonight.
He might get in the kitchen, but just as long as he doesn't go in the back.
Finally lock up, collar and elbow tie up. Rivers with the wrist lock. And I think Rivers is saying Cheech submitted. Nice agility there by the big man.
Chi Cruz taken down by the All-American. Both of these guys
reversal by Chi Cruz.
Very accomplished on the mat.
Well, Chi Cruz demonstrated a lot of his mat skills last month against Boris the Bruiser until the American Patriots intervened. And you will not beat Chi Cruz easily on the mat. But then again, after 21 years, Chi Cruz can pretty much do anything.
You got to admit that Cheech is one of the toughest guys walking around the planet, let alone the locker room at Monster Pro Wrestling.
And he's looking good.
He's bridging into that hammerlock.
He's even throwing me out of a few clubs. And we went there together.
And Steve Rivers nearly have his shoulders separated. And a quick roll up there.
Oh, just about gets the early 3 count. Hanging on.
But I don't think Chi wants to end this one early. And I'm actually quite surprised. I thought Chi's wrestling a pretty traditional match. I thought he'd be all over him.
How's your sports injury been healing, martial art?
What are you talking about?
How many burgers are you going to eat, McNeil? You're just a little guy.
I'm hungry. Look, this is a match. Rivers tries to drop the elbow. Cruz out of the way.
And Cruz right back to that left arm. Isolating it, picking his spots, perhaps setting it up for a submission later in the match. Cruz, an accomplished submission wrestler as well.
Cruz known for the crucifier, that kind of a chicken wing style maneuver. And it bugs me that Ripper knows the name of the move and I don't. Nothing sticks in my craw like Ripper being right.
Well, by rule of thumb, you know you're bound to get it right sooner or later. Yeah, it's bound to happen. So just be patient. It'll come. It'll come.
And so far, Steve Rivers not having much luck in freeing that left wrist from the clutches of Chi Cruz. And look at that. Cruz using his face, using his chest, just twisting that wrist. And you can really control the body just by using that wrist. I don't even think Rivers can... Oh, there he goes. Rivers getting his other hand in there across the jaw of Cruz.
Taking him back into that turnbuckle, hoping the ref will step in and break this.
Yeah.
And you know you're not going to get a clean break out
shot.
of Rivers.
Look at Chi Cruz just shrugging it off, saying, try again, Rivers.
He kind of likes it. I told you he was tough.
Rivers, Chi Cruz is more than tough. He is all fired up.
Oh!
And look at that as he connects with the forearms. Rivers staggering. Rivers nearly down. Rivers being driven all the way across the ring and has sent back the other way. Cruz picks him up, backdrop.
Look at that. These heavyweights throwing each other around.
Has Rivers got that do-rag Velcroed on? How is that not off his head yet?
It never comes off.
Look at the Japanese armbar by Chi Cruz. Showing Chi Cruz beating people up on multiple continents.
He'll deliver
Steve
a
Rivers
beating.
finding out, look at that. He's even got his foot in Rivers' face. Rivers trying to stand clear. Chi Cruz just levering him right back down again.
And Rivers got to be mindful to not get those shoulders on the mat. You can squeak out a quick 3 count here.
Well, to be honest, I don't want to see this one end quickly. I want to see Chi Cruz beat up Steve Rivers for a while. But that's just me.
I think Cruz feeling the same way.
I just want to see a fight.
Rivers reaching for those ropes and finally able to make them.
Quick three!
Did he get a 3 count there?
He had 3! A handful of ropes and he got the 3 count.
No way.
That's it. The fans
think
are
you're-
shocked here at the hangar on Kingsway.
Rivers will win.
Cruz doesn't know what happened.
I don't even know what.
The referee doesn't know what happened. Rivers had a handful of the top rope, and he got a quick 3 count, and he's won the match.
What's going to happen next? Let's check out the replay on that pin, though. I want to see this.
And just like that, Rivers turning it around.
And Chi Cruz is not happy. Perhaps getting outsmarted, out-dirtied by the All-American Steve Rivers.
And that's true. You can't turn things. Rivers can turn things around on you just like that. He is crafty. I'll give him that. We saw the way he beats Big Jess last month. Now getting a 3 count.
The fans know what happened.
It wasn't too long ago that Big Jess scored an upset victory over that human locomotive AJ Sanchez. Now, Sanchez has teamed up with fellow American Patriot Boris the Bruiser and challenged Big Jess to a tag team match. And guess who Big Jess's partner is? None other than the former MPW Commissioner, Insane Irishman, making his return to the ring.
Well, the commissioner is in the house. He must have gave him clearance to wrestle. This is news to me. I don't believe it, and I don't like it.
Do you just sign everything they put in front of you, or?
I give it to people to be signed. I don't have say on who's cleared and who's not. That's up to the doctor. I merely provide the paperwork, have them checked out, and if he's cleared, he's cleared. And apparently he's cleared.
So I might finally get my paycheck? These guys owe me some back pay.
That hasn't cleared.
It bounced.
Maybe the Insane Irishman.
Insane Irishman and Big Jess firing up the crowd. And the American Patriots looking a little tentative here. AJ Sanchez trying to start a Sanchez chant. I don't know how well that'll work out for him.
So he'd still have that commissioner job.
Yeah, well, he actually listens to the news instead of using it for a smoke break like some radio personalities we could name.
Or making news like me.
Well, how do you think I'm...
That's how I got my TV debut, 6 o'clock news.
I see
saw
on the
you.
post office wall.
You were shirtless and your face was pixelated.
That's right, face down.
One of my many TV appearances.
And I saw your phone number on the bathroom wall. Things starting out here, a whole lot of weight in that ring. AJ Sanchez and Big Jess. Just a few months ago, Big Jess with an upset victory over AJ Sanchez, allowing them to advance in that tournament. Both men using the arm locks early. AJ Sanchez trying to bridge out of it. Big Jess powering him down, and wait, what's Boris doing? Boris assisting AJ Sanchez.
That's a tag team.
He's just helping out his partner. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm with you, Ripper.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh, and what's going on? Anybody want to make a comment on that one, or shall we just
No.
clear our throats and pretend we're not looking?
Impressive flexibility from the big man Sanchez there.
That's right.
He's
Contorting.
amazing. This guy can do backflips. He does the splits. He does things you wouldn't even heard of.
And Boris the Bruiser in the ring now. Boris the Bruiser falling into some bad company with the American Patriots. He's a young guy. He's got all the talent in the world, all the power in the world. Last month, Chi Cruz challenged him to a nice match, a clean match. Said he'd teach him some stuff. And what happens? Boris the Bruiser enlists the American Patriots. They beat on him. They leave Chi Cruz a bloody mess in the center of the ring. And Chi Cruz will be taking that aggression out on Steve Rivers just a little later on tonight.
And the Bruiser seems to have some sort of message written on his chest and back. I know that's not work done at Big Daddy's. That looks like it was done with a Jiffy marker or a crayon. Nothing like what comes out of Big Daddy's. That's quality work in there.
Oh, that's Steve Rivers' latest play. We talked about that, or we saw that last. This is Boris the Bruiser's equivalent of psychological warfare, writing mean messages in magic marker on his pen, like a grade 7 girl. And it didn't help him much there, as he is steamrollered by Big Jess.
A brick wall.
Oh, look at the power.
Big scoop there!
He scooped him like he's nothing.
And a big slam, and I felt that one from over here.
And I like how Big Jess put him up there, he let him think about it, and then he dropped him on his keister.
It's a long way down.
I think he's having a little fun.
And there you go! Did you hear that tag? That was the tag of Insane Irishman. Insane Irishman throwing his first kick in 3 years, winding up Boris the Bruiser for the first time in 3 years. And he doesn't look rusty at all.
He is rusty.
I think it's pasty, not rusty. He needs to find a tanning bed.
He's Irish.
He's been off. I suppose so.
Maybe now he could get one of those checks you were talking about. Maybe he can afford some sun tanning.
And Boris the Bruiser feeling it in the left arm. As Insane Irishman drops the leg. But that is definitely a good question. Is Insane Irishman a little rusty? He's had a long layoff, and even if he's physically back in shape, is he mentally back in it? Is he used to a new partner in Big Jess?
You can get in the gym, you can ride the bike, you can lift the weights, you can do all you want, but getting your ring win back takes one thing, and that's getting back in the ring, and he hasn't been in one in 3 years.
Absolutely, and this is something we'll have to take more of a look at as this match goes on. But so far, Insane Irishman looking pretty good, and Big Jess and Insane Irishman showing some pretty good continuity here. Smooth tags in and out. Textbook tag team wrestling.
They've cut that ring in half. They've isolated their opponent in their corner, and even better than that, they've isolated a body part working over that left shoulder of Boris the Bruiser.
Absolutely. Sorry, Ripper, did you want to contribute something?
Listen, what I want to say about these guys is it ain't a bodybuilding contest. A lot of guys will say, oh, these guys should get in the gym. They're looking a little chubby. I'll tell you what, you get in the ring with one of these guys, you'll be surprised. You'll see how much power these guys got. They got to build like the world's strongest men. Those guys aren't skinny bodybuilders. They got huge guts, and they throw cars around.
Well, has nothing to do with what we were talking about, Ripper, but it was a good effort.
Do you even watch the show?
Well, what now? I'm watching Big Jess set up Boris the Bruiser on the top turnbuckle.
Are your glasses clean? You should clean those off.
Uh-oh, Tree of Woe position. Jess shining up his boots on Boris the Bruiser, the American Patriot. AJ Sanchez in the ring.
Oh, my goodness.
And maybe wishing he didn't get in as Big Jess caught him coming in with the elbow.
I see where this is going.
Double team coming up in this. AJ Sanchez meet Boris the Bruiser. Boris the Bruiser meet AJ Sanchez.
I know you've been in that position, martial arts. I know you have.
I was in college and I was exploring.
The Tree of Woe into the Soissons Neuf. Brian Adams wrote a song about the summer of that year.
Boris the Bruiser and AJ Sanchez trying to wipe the taste out of their mouth. An Insane Irishman having some fun, but also not giving them a chance to breathe. And that's the secret to success in wrestling. You can have fun, you can enjoy yourself, but it's also about wins and losses and staying on your opponent when you have an opportunity.
Boris just had his face in his
I think a low blow by Boris.
crotch. I don't think he wants to breathe. The Insane Irishman and Big Jess are working together like a well-oiled machine. Forgive the cliche, but it doesn't look like they've missed a beat. It looks like they've been wrestling together forever.
That's true, and don't worry about cliches here. We're the masters. We hit them all over the course of the night, and AJ Sanchez just hit Insane Irishman from behind. Insane Irishman dumps him.
You can't turn your back on a guy like the Bruiser.
It didn't last forever.
Well, now we'll have to see. This is going to be the test for Insane Irishman. You can do all the push-ups, you can do all the conditioning in the world, but nothing will prepare you for having Boris the Bruiser's hand, Boris the Bruiser's arm across your throat.
And the Bruiser utilizing that 5 count. He knows the rule books. He knows how to bend them. He's capitalizing. He's getting to 4, and then he's breaking the hold to avoid DQ.
The American Patriots know a whole lot about the rules and how to break them. They can write a whole new book on it. And we're certainly seeing that tonight, and I'm sure we'll see that later on when Steve Rivers meets Chi-Chi Cruz in singles action.
Hey, Ripper, you should write a new rule book. You could put a centerfold in it, huh?
I did write the book.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Ripper can't write.
You see it on my website. It's coming out. You know, I got a good lawyer. He points out all these little loopholes to me. So I got a few ideas that I'm going to employ around here. I'm full of surprises. You're going to find out. Stay tuned.
You're full of surprises.
Stay tuned.
I'd be surprised if you could form a complete sentence. AJ Sanchez dropping all his weight across Insane Irishman, holding on to the rear chin lock. Insane Irishman tucking his chin in.
And that's not a mistake.
Trying to relieve the pressure.
That's Sanchez making the Irishman carry that extra 300 pounds across his back. Not only is he choking him out with that front chin lock, but he's also got to support his opponent's weight.
See, Ripper, Yukon Jack can do this. Why can't you?
I don't have to. You guys are the play-by-play. He's the commissioner. You're the play-by-play man. I'm just the most popular guy in this business. That's my job.
Ripper, does he even watch this show?
I don't know, man. Sometimes I really wonder.
But what are you?
What's with that suit?
How did you just turn on me all of a sudden? This is.
Sorry, dude.
Come on.
Take it on yourself. It's that aura. That's karma. That's what that is.
No, what this is a wrestling match. And what that is Insane Irishman being driven again and again into the mat by AJ Sanchez. Sanchez going for a cover there, a bit lazy, not hooking the leg.
The Irishman's still able to kick out, though. Enough in the tank. Oh, no, and Sanchez.
Look at this, Sanchez drawing Big Jess into the ring. And this, not a good sign.
Would the referee turn around? He's missing all the action behind him.
A little double team action by Boris and AJ Sanchez.
Get out of the way and let the ref do his job. He just
Boris the Bruiser with a series of closed fists to the head. Referee's got to get in there.
Boris loving it. He's having some fun.
Now this is
Oh,
a
he's
mistake.
having fun now. I didn't see him laughing when he had his face in AJ Sanchez's crotch.
I was laughing.
Or his crotch in AJ's face. Or was it the other way around?
I think it was both.
I'm sure you'll call for a replay soon.
Now,
Ripper, I'm sure you'll be watching it again and again and again.
Boris making a mistake, though. The Irishman was down, and Boris was taunting the crowd, hamming it up with the biscuits, when he should have been in there capitalizing on his opponent.
Hamming it up with the biscuits?
That's what I said.
Well, you're right, Boris, certainly inexperienced, probably the youngest member of the American Patriots, but so far he's acquitting himself well, as much as it pains me to admit
Was there
it.
a tag there?
Drawing the referee, of course not. It's the American Patriots, what do you expect?
Now, Big Jess and the Insane Irishman showing how to do it within the rules, and the other team showing how to do it without the rules.
And
Tag
Big
team
Jess
wrestling.
really trying to get at AJ Sanchez, and he's doing a lot more harm than good. Boris the Bruiser taking advantage, choking Irishman on the ropes.
He's trying to help him get back in the ring. That's all he's doing.
And this is that lack of experience of Big Jess and Insane Irishman. They haven't worked a lot together, and that's coming into play. But now Big Jess saying to heck with it, and he's going in there anyway.
The referee's lost all control of this match. One man is not enough for these four in the ring.
Well, I guess that's up to the commissioner to decide. Uh-oh! I can't look. What the?
Sanchez fakes him out, steps out, and now he's playing to the biscuits once again.
Another cover there. And again, you have to say, Insane Irishman is still showing that he's still got some of his ring conditioning there, or at least some of his instincts. He's been in there taking a lot of punishment.
I think at this stage of the game, Art, that's what he's doing. He's running on fumes. He's running on instinct. He knows when that mat hits the mat, that hand hits the mat a second time.
Oh, moonsault! Nobody home!
Oh, I want to see a replay on that.
Me too, and boy, oh boy, if he had hit that, this one would have been over. And just like that, it can turn around on you. The trick is, though, does Insane Irishman, as Yukon Jack said, he's running on fumes. Does he have enough to make it to the corner and make the tag to Big Jess?
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the roadies here at Monster Pro Wrestling. That ring's gotta be double tough, reinforced to support that much meat, doing a moonsault.
And there we see it, the tag. Here comes Big Jess, and down goes Boris, and down goes AJ.
He turned him inside out with that clothesline.
Big Jess putting on a 2-for-1 sale here.
Wonder what the momentum on that elbow is with that much weight.
I don't know what the momentum on the elbow is, but the momentum is certainly shifting as Big Jess plants Boris the Bruiser, hooks the leg, and Boris gets the shoulder up.
Big Jess showing that he puts more than food in that belly. There's a lot of fire in that belly.
Oh, well
You know
said.
he's hungry.
That was a good one,
It
wasn't it?
was. We got to cross
You know why
that
he's
shit
a
off.
fan
too.
favorite, Yukon? Because you drive a beer truck to a wrestling match. Of course the fans are going to love you.
More word salad from the Ripper, and look at that double team move.
Almost a spiked back suplex.
Back suplex neck breaker. Japanese tornado death drop, I believe it's called. In Hawaii.
You got a
the
name for
Hawaiian
that?
term.
I looked it up on the internet this morning. Although not remembering Stevie Saint's finishing move is going to bug me all night. Oh, wait a minute!
Turn it
The
around.
Patriots from behind. All four men in the ring, and did you see that DDT by
There's a
AJ
hole in that.
Sanchez?
There's
And
a
AJ
hole in the
Sanchez,
mat.
so agile for his size. And that could be the difference maker in this match as AJ is way up top. And Insane Irishman is completely up. Uh-oh.
Look at this. It's over.
Oh my gosh! Thrust
Drop
kick,
kick from the top.
thrust kick, doomsday device. I think we can safely put this one into the,
No chance.
The American Patriots again doing the damage, strutting their stuff.
Even without that incredible finisher, you're putting 600 pounds on top of a man. It's tough to kick out of that.
Man, oh man. And you know, I don't like the apparent. Good Lord, they're doing it again. Get a room!
Well, Ripper, it looks like Yukon Jack's the commissioner, and you and I are out in the cold again.
It's not over till the fat lady sings. And believe me, I've seen some of the ladies you hang out with. They're always singing. And Yukon, I'm coming for that job still. This ain't over.
Folks, let's get straight to our main event. And has there ever been a competitor with more heart and guts and pride than the young lion, Bobby Sharp? He's gone from a kid with a dream to the main event at Monster Pro Wrestling Madness. But to be the best, you have to beat the best. And when it comes to handing out beatings, not many do it better than this former #1 contender to the MPW title, the Outlaw, Adam Knight.
Well, you're the only one that listens to me.
No, I just say uh-huh in all the right places. I've been married twice before, you know.
We do got a lot in common. Boy, that was a rough night, too. You ever get married twice in one night?
Twice to the same woman?
Shame me once, etc., etc.
Oh, look at
Adam Knight
this.
using his power advantage to...
He's got a handful of hair is what he's got.
Well, Adam Knight knows quite a few dirty tricks.
And I can respect that.
Look, he's trying to play mind games with the young lion. I don't think that will work. Bobby Sharp, familiar with mind games in his feud with Knight, the current junior heavyweight champion. And Knight will be defending that championship later on against Heavy Metal, Mr. Parental Advisory.
Bobby Sharp, still though, even though he's put the weight on, still sized and outpowered,
Driven
and you're
head
seeing
first
that right
into the
now.
turnbuckle, and certainly Knight with a huge power advantage, height advantage, leverage advantage. Bobby Sharp will have to use his explosiveness and maybe his stamina as well. As the longer this match goes on, I think the more it favors the better conditioned Bobby Sharp. Both men exchanging shoves in the early going.
Exchanging a couple of stiff paintbrushes as well. You can thank Benjamin Moores for that one. A new sponsor to Monster Pro
Waist lock
Wrestling.
by Adam Knight, and he just powers Bobby Sharp down. There was a little bit of science behind that and a whole lot of brute force.
Knight showing a good little bit of an amateur background, not afraid to get on the mat and mix it up, and Bobby Sharp
Though makes the counter. And one thing you don't want to do is trade holds with Bobby Sharp. Hold for hold, one of the best in Monster Pro Wrestling.
I think 734 he's got.
He is
Last
slippery,
count.
I'll give him that.
He added a variation on the headlock though, so we round up to an even 740. Adam Knight though trying to power out of it, and notice he's trying to get him up high so Adam Knight can use his own leverage. Bobby Sharp wants to keep things lower so he can use his lower center of gravity.
Sharp's got two options here. He can put this match on the mat and take it low, or he can pick up the pace and take it up to the high rent district and try and out-quick the big man Knight.
You're right, he doesn't want to fall into Adam Knight's game. He better stick with his strategy.
And Adam Knight's game, a lot of forearms, a lot of fists, a lot of kicks, and that vicious spine buster that he managed to, I believe he pinned Big Jess with that back at, I believe that might have been all the way back at Madness. I'll have to check my notes.
Still a little more concerned with getting their face on TV than wrestling. Oh, here we go.
Headlock by Adam Knight, nice takeover.
Adam Knight putting it on the mat.
Laying all that weight across Bobby Sharp.
Look at this,
And
reverse.
Sharp rolls him up. Trying to catch Adam Knight napping. Knight says, no way.
Not a chance.
Bobby Sharp trying to get his hands together, I think.
Sharp's got to be careful that his shoulders don't hit the mat for that 3 count. It doesn't take long.
That's true. And look at this, though.
Adam Knight's got to be careful of the same thing. Sharp using his leverage, rolling him over.
That's right.
Adam Knight rethinking it and taking it back up to a vertical base.
And Bobby Sharp fires away to the midsection. Off the ropes. Ooh, and
Bobby
Gotta be
Sharp's
tough
not.
making that adjustment, being the biggest guy in the heavyweight division, then coming up and being the smallest guy with all the heavyweights.
you make a good point. Ripper, is there an eclipse tonight?
Well, both of you guys must be able to relate to that, kind of the big fish and the small pond syndrome. When I came to town, a legitimate professional broadcaster.
Well, I'll tell you what, come out and swim in my pond for a night.
I want to be on Ripper's side, but I don't even know what that meant.
I don't think your pond is chlorinated, Ripper. Deep arm drag by Knight, and again making the mistake talking to the MPW fans rather than capitalizing.
And if you take a look at the expression on Bobby Sharp's, Bobby Sharp takes out the knee.
And Sharp's not stupid. When you chop down a tree, you start at the bottom.
That's absolutely correct.
Unless you prune it first.
Like an excellent gardener.
He's trying to take the pins out.
And that's not a bad idea. Adam Knight is carrying a lot of weight around. In the first place, you'll definitely feel that pressure on the knees.
And now Sharp playing up to the crowd. I don't know if I like this.
I think Sharp's letting Adam Knight think about what's going to happen to him.
That's where he gets his inspiration. The crowd gets this kid fired up. He needs that.
And that's true, especially when you're young. Hearing that crowd behind you can really get that adrenaline going.
What's going to happen the day the crowd turns on you? Because they'll turn on you in a heartbeat. You know.
Crowds
Have they
love
ever
me.
liked you?
Crowds love me.
Has anybody ever liked you?
Well, I'd say my mom said I was her little soldier. Does that count?
I don't know. You probably got some friends in your little chat room on your little internet there.
Actually, the internet's gotten a little more than little. You'd know if you ever...
Martial art McNeil now.
Watch the match! Watch the... Oh, look at that move! Bobby Sharp trying to wind him up, and
Gets a face full of middle turnbuckle.
Ow! And then a face full of clothesline.
Oh, he took his head right off. I think he picked that up at about the 14th row.
A lariat from the Cowboy. And Bobby Sharp going to be slow to get up after that one. But Adam Knight's looking a little puffed out himself. Adam Knight's still favoring that left leg.
His knee pad is down. That's an exposed knee. Now what that does to me is just put a big old bullseye right on that left knee of Adam Knight.
That's true.
If Sharp can get it together, you can guarantee he's going to go right back after that knee.
Well, that's still an if at this point as Sharp goes hard into the turnbuckle. Knight's still limping, still favoring that left patella. Unfortunately, that won't do him any good. Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. Bobby Sharp really has to clear the cobwebs. And wait a minute, Bobby Sharp just punching right back.
Heavy shots.
Exchange of blows.
Right after the knee.
And a thumb to the eye.
Bobby Sharp.
That momentum right back. Batted eyelash.
You see the experience of Adam Knight there as he smears Bobby Sharp's windshield. And now he's got some trapped in the corner.
Speaking of smeared windshields, it's time to switch from the pink goo to the blue goo. Winters are coming. A little PSA brought to you by YF&J.
Huh?
You'll catch it on the replay.
The crowd is a little too loud. I could not hear Yukon, but I'm sure he's not making much sense anyhow. Has he been hanging out with you?
The alliance is shifting here fast and furious here at the Monster Pro Wrestling broadcast booth. We have a triple threat of our own. Meanwhile, Bobby Sharp fighting back, kick to the knee, other kick to the knee. And Adam Knight just drilled him between the running lights with that fist.
Sharp's just having a tough time mounting any offense. He knows what he wants to do. He knows what he needs to do, but getting it together and doing it is another thing.
Absolutely right. Every time he starts to build some momentum, something like that happens. And Knight hesitating before going for the cover. We'll see if that costs him. Yes, it does.
Am I the only guy that's enjoying this beating? This is great. These fans should give that Adam Knight a big round of applause.
Right now, the fans are clapping all right, but they're trying to get behind Bobby Sharp.
Adam Knight has had his...
For Adam Knight, this is the respect that I'm telling you about. About time. They must have heard me.
Everybody can hear you. They can hear you in Kingsway. They can hear you in the Nate Gym.
Adam Knight not scared to get a handful of hair. You got to think Bobby Sharp, maybe a haircut is in his future. It's being used against him all match long. I like being bald.
Did you have a choice?
No.
Oh! You know, every once in a while I think I'd like to try wrestling. I'd like to sign up for the Monster Pro Wrestling School at www.monsterprowrestling.com as we see the cover there. And then I see an elbow like that from Adam Knight and I think, nah, I think I'll stick right here.
You'll stick to the one-handed websites rather than monsterprowrestling.com.
We could find a job for you at the Monster Pro Gym. Maybe we could hang you from the ceiling and use it for a punching bag.
I've got to come back for both those comments, but I'm not going to waste it on you two.
Bobby Sharp stiff into the turnbuckle. And Adam Knight looking a little tired now.
Yeah, you're wondering if Bobby Sharp's going to try and get Knight punch himself out, but I think that's a little bit of a dangerous strategy when you're dealing with someone with Adam Knight's power.
I think Bobby Sharp just checked to see if both of his nipples were still there after that knife edge.
I think he got him pierced with that, John. Oh, no!
Oh, man, did you hear that?
Goodness.
And the poke to the eyes, going back to the soft spot.
Going back to the Three Stooges. Boy, Adam Knight's been watching some tapes, obviously.
Both of their chests are rubbed raw from those chops. I want some applesauce.
And I think a visit to the Monster Pro Wrestling Massage Parlor will be in order after this. Ripper, start warming up.
It's always
morning for my pre-match workout.
It's always a happy ending at the Monster Pro Wrestling Massage Parlor. And Adam Knight, again, seems to be sucking a little bit of wind. Bobby Sharp, even though he's down, looks to be in a better physical condition of the two athletes.
And he's going again to the knee. And
I think he was biting his knee.
Desperation by Bobby Sharp, and really, that's exactly it. It seems like both men are in a bad way. A battle of wills, a war of attrition. It's like you said earlier, Yukon Jack, whose strategy is going to pay off first? The power of Adam Knight just clubbing down, or Bobby Sharp picking away at that knee.
And it is definitely slowing down the big man, picking away at that knee, but he's got to get him off his vertical base, get him on the mat, or pick up the pace and outrun him.
Well, Bobby Sharp has used the sharpshooter as a finishing hold in the past, although lately he's more gone towards the frog splash, and of course there's that impact impaler, although he hasn't done much working on the neck. And Knight takes a drop kick to the mush, and then he takes a roundhouse to the leg. And what's this? That's a good old-fashioned clothesline. And now what the heck, throw another drop kick in there.
He's still proving that he can fly like a junior heavyweight.
Yeah. And there we saw another example, the back elbow.
Like Yukon said, he can
Hey,
take
watch
it
the
to air.
pin.
How does he know?
Sharp late on hooking that leg. You got to think, if he had it hooked as soon as he had him down, that could have been 3.
Well, like we said, Sharp probably still feeling a little bit out of it. You can see he's not moving as quickly as he normally does.
He's not looking to
Reversal
Sharp.
by Adam Knight. Wah, wah. Oh, leg lariat right to the back of the head.
And
Adam Knight not turning around. And I think you're right, Yukon, just tired there. Fatigue coming into play for both men. There's 500 people in this building breathing a lot of oxygen. There's not a lot left. And these guys have been working pretty hard. And now Sharp setting up for the impaler. Can he get Adam Knight into position? Knight powering out.
Speaking of not a lot of
Spinning leg
oxygen,
lariat.
now I understand what happened. When you
Cover, one,
that umbilical cord was wrapped around your neck, wasn't it? For like 20 minutes.
I got a microphone cord I'd like to wrap around your neck.
His lips are still blue.
Thanks for noticing.
Sharp now taking the upper hand here. He's got the big man in the corner.
Kind of finishing him out well. Spoke a little too soon. Reversal. Another reversal. And boy, oh boy, switches coming fast and furious. Miscues by both men as they get more and more tired. And now Sharp going up high. This might not be a good idea when you're tired.
You don't take the top rope unless your man is down flat on his back, sucking wind.
Well, that's a lesson Bobby Sharp can take. And Adam Knight is aiming to teach it to him. And uh-oh.
Well, he is going to get an education in the heavyweight division around here.
And Adam Knight takes the tumble.
What's the
And Bobby
All-American
Sharp on the
doing here?
Oh, Steve Rivers. Wait a minute, Steve Rivers at the ringside. He's got him distracted. Frog splash.
1,
Frog splash.
2, 3.
Look
That's a
over.
3 count right there, but Rivers is up on the apron.
And again, the American Patriots making their presence felt. This is how Sharp lost to AJ Sanchez last time.
I see where this is going.
And I don't like it. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. A miscue there. And now Sharp, reverse roll up. 1, 2. He got him.
He had a handful of tights. 2.
Payback is a B-I-T-C-H.
You're lucky the Ripper can't spell.
And Steve Rivers, Crimey Rivers, winding his way to the referee, but there's no taking that one away. The young lion with the victory here.